The warrior jumped up. That's my wife you have there. Don't touch her. I want her. David Livingstone quickly came up between the man, the angry man, and this little girl. Only 11 years old. His wife. What do you mean his wife? So, wait. You haven't married her yet. You just think that you haven't married her. She said no. She wants to leave. She wants to go away from you. She doesn't want to get married with you. So the man said, but I paid for her. I paid for her. Give her back to me. Give her back to me. And David Livingstone, what do you want? What do you want? What did she pay? What did you pay? What did he pay for you? My necklaces. All these beautiful necklaces are from him. Why don't you just, can I give it back to her? Is that okay? And the little girl said, sure, I'll give it back to her. How about these? Can you take them? And these? Is that okay? And he said, all right. So he took the necklaces and he left. Whew. David Livingstone was so relieved. So, now what kind of thing? Let's go. And as we went along, he started asking this little girl, how come you're so brave? How come you can do this? It's just, yes, I want to live a different life. I just don't want to be there and become his third wife. And so they went along, and David Livingstone began to understand this little girl better, learned a few languages, lessons from her, and finally got to the other village and said, goodbye, little girl, and may God bless you. And so he went on his way, up rivers and streams, trying to find all the different streams and map them so that other Christians could come and missionaries could come to tell them about Jesus. Because on the way he would see that a lot of people were just like smoking. They loved to smoke. And there were these pipes there, especially these Arabs were smoking like that. And many of the Arabs were involved in the slave trade and doing evil things too. And at times he would sit down and he would just open up shop. He would have a little clinic underneath a tree or under a hut, and he would take out his medicine bag and he would try to treat the people like medicines. This medicine or that medicine, or maybe sometimes when they were sick, he would help them with little cuts, take away some of the stuff that they have, some of the really sort of bad stuff that they had, just cut off the little things, maybe. And other days, he would just simply be sitting there listening to them, sort of touching their tummies, feeling their heads, see if they're fever or not, even sometimes having to bring out an otoscope and check out their ears and things like that, make sure that they were well. And many of them had like ulcers on their legs, like, oh, really bad ulcers, you know, from sores, from infections, and he'd help them clean them. These little acts of kindness were really, really very touching to the people, because saw this big doctor sitting there underneath a tree, helping little kids, helping older women, just to treat them and heal them. And at times he would try to tell them about the gospel. But it seemed that they didn't really want to listen to the gospel, because everywhere that he went, he could see that there are idols, all kinds of evil-looking idols. Some idols look like that, ugh, they look so awful. Others maybe look a little more pretty, like a head of a giraffe maybe, or something like that. But others look like, oh, what are they, you know? Just some kind of evil idol that's there. And sometimes even as he walked around, he realized that they weren't just carved things. They were sometimes like little sticks on the ground. Like maybe a bundle of sticks that was kind of like a god. Or maybe something like a cut in the bark of a tree. Sometimes it was cut like a face. Sometimes it was just a cut, and there would be a god there. And so you have to be really careful, because if you see some sticks on the ground and you walk there, and if you disturb the gods, they would get really upset. So most people, if they see something strange on the ground, would kind of like make a detour, like, let's not touch that. We don't know what that is, kind of thing. Other times, they might have things that are like a trick for you. So either it's a god, or a trick god, or kind of a trick. So one of the chiefs had a really evil trick. He put his own little knife on the side of the road, like a little bit in the underbrush, so not exactly visible, but sort of visible. So he knew that there would be people coming through, like Livingstone's troop coming through, his people coming through. And as he came through, one of the young people, a native, thought, ooh, that looks nice. I'll pocket it. So he took it and hid it among his belongings. Then in comes this chief running out and says, I know that you guys have come to steal my things here. You people are evil people. I don't like you. This is my territory. How come you're all here? I know that you have stolen my knife. And David Livingstone was always like, wait. Of course we don't steal your things. We're not robbers. We're here peacefully. We came here to talk about Jesus. And our people, they wouldn't steal your things. No way, no way. And the big chief says, ha ha ha, I know you've stolen it. And David Livingstone said, all right. Just go through their belongings and look through it. I'm sure there's nobody that's stolen your things. So they went around and tried to dig up the things. Sure enough, they found it. They found the knife. See? There's a knife. Here it is. You stole it. So, I either kill you or you become my slave forever. David Livingstone, this must be a trap. This must be a trick. And he said, no. Don't do this. We can negotiate this. Let's sit down and talk about it. Your knife was picked up. He told me that he picked it up on the side. So it's not good, but he didn't steal it. Just take it back. Is that okay? No. Okay, I'll give you something else. How about something else? We have all these nice shells. Nice shells. All the way from the ocean. Beautiful shells. Except, where are they? Somebody's stolen the shells. What happened to the shells? They're gone. Somebody take the shelves? Anybody among you take the shelves? Confess. Who took up the shells? They were just here. Seashells. Who took the shells? Confess. Where are they? They're there. These are the shells. Can you have the shells? Can I give you the shells? Is that okay? And the man said, they are pretty. I like these seashells. Sure, okay, you can go. Just leave us. So this way, when David Livingstone went through the different places, he found out all these problems that they had. And it wasn't easy to adapt. And he could see that the girls, the women, were really dressed sometimes very pretty. Some of them had their hairdos kind of like that, like a halo around them. Others had like a horns of an ox. And many of the girls liked bracelets, just like our people like bracelets. And then they would get married when they were 12, 13, or 14. And so it was kind of a sad thing, actually. But the people would be dancing around them, jumping, as if it was a joyous occasion. And the little girl would be in the little hut in there, all alone. And everybody around them would be jumping and making all kinds of noises and like celebrating. And they would say, oh, and she's going to get married, and she's going to have babies, she's going to have boys. Because in that culture, if you don't have a boy, they are laughed at. You have to have a boy. And if you have no children, that's worse. Whether you have no boys or no children, all the people around them laugh at no boys, no children, no boys, no children. And after a while, these girls get really depressed. And sometimes they would go jump in the river and kill themselves. It's so sad. What a culture, what a difficulty. In fact, even today, can you imagine? Today, after all 150 years, the president of South Africa married his 5th wife, and they're jumping and dancing. At that time, David Livingstone was already so disturbed, and he prayed to God. He says, God, we'd have to introduce Christianity here. Let them change their hearts. How can they have all these evil practices? And more evil was the witch doctor. The witch doctor would really be evil. Whenever they had anything that they wanted to accuse someone, let's say they want to accuse you of something wicked. You did something wicked. The witch doctor would come to you, and he would take this special goho, a goho plant. You grind this goho plant, and you feed it to you like, take it, and we'll know. And you wait and wait and see. If the person vomited, it was like, oh, good, he's innocent. But if he had diarrhea, he's guilty. And it would sometimes mean that the guilty person would be burned or thrown in the river. Ah, such a sad situation. Really, really sad. But what was most sad was whenever he went around the different villages, he could see that in the villages there was another practice. And the practice when he went up closer would be, there would be like skulls here and there. And this is where the tribes that ate people. They killed people just for the fun of killing them. And then they ate them, had a feast. And they would display their heads and their jaws and their bones in different places just to show how powerful we are. Look how powerful we are. We killed so many people.